This is Doncaster Civic Trust, and this is the Settlement Game. The Settlement Game is an exciting, immersive, cross-curricular teaching and learning aid that forms a major part of our education programme. It also offers an introduction to the Doncaster Toolkit, which consists of a series of activities designed to help students get to grips with architecture, town planning and urban design from a Doncaster perspective. The game has been played many times in Doncaster, where it was created, and in other towns and cities across the UK. It is easy to understand and play, and can be tailored to meet the needs of a wide range of subjects in key stages 1 and 2 of the national curriculum. In its basic format, it creates a model of a small, modern town, enabling young people to gain an understanding of how human settlements develop and grow. Along the way, they learn about design and construction, citizenship, neighbourliness, and how we can all work together to make our villages, towns and cities better places in which we can live, work and play. In this short film, we will show you how the game works, what equipment and materials you will need in order to play it, how it is relevant to the national curriculum, and how you can arrange for a member of our team to visit your school to play the game with your students. We will also show you some of the many variations of the game that have been developed in schools in Doncaster and elsewhere across the country. Step 1 of the game. Students are introduced to a basic game layout of roads and pathways that may include a river, a lake or a stream. They are also introduced to the simple set of game playing rules and the basic equipment with which the game is to be played. The next step is for each student to make a model house using a flat-packed cardboard box decorated to their own design, using the sort of basic art and craft equipment that all schools possess. This gives each student a sense of ownership of the model town, as well as a sense of personal responsibility for how it will grow and develop. When all of the model houses have been completed, the students take it in turn to place their own model in the layout at a location of their choice. When all of the houses are in position, each student may ask to move their home to a different location if they wish, but they will only be allowed to do so if the move is approved by a majority of the other players. In the next stage of the game, the students are divided into groups, each of which adopts the task of designing and making a model building or amenity that will be added to the developing layout. Here is a list of some of the buildings and amenities which this group felt should be included in their town. However, not only must the groups design and build their new additions to the settlement, they must also seek permission from the rest of the players regarding where they think it should be located. Since every player has a voice and every voice has equal weight, this encourages self-expression, collaborative working and group cohesion. And it also begins to ask real-world questions about whether it is ever acceptable to say, "I don't care where you put it, just so long as it's not in my backyard." This process of adding to the developing settlement continues throughout the life of the game. The layout of the game can be temporary, existing only for a single lesson or game-playing workshop, or as a semi-permanent installation in a classroom or other suitable space. It can also be played to represent a human settlement from any historical period. Here are a few that are tried and tested. The game can be played either as a snapshot of a particular moment in time, or, if periods of history are allowed to follow one another over a number of game-playing sessions, as a means of showing how human settlements and ways of life change with the passage of time. It soon becomes obvious that the game can be tailored to cover an infinite variety of development types, from a city centre and a high-rise estate to a green new town built with issues such as recycling, locally grown food and renewable energies in mind. In the process, it can meet the needs of a wide range of subjects in KS1 and KS2 of the national curriculum. Along the way, it encourages improvements in speaking and listening, thinking and doing, negotiation skills and collaborative working, self-confidence and group cohesion, and individual and collective identity. For instance, the game covers the requirement in the National Curriculum for Art and Design at KS1 and KS2 by introducing the elements of colour, pattern, texture, line, tone, shape, form and space, as well as the materials and processes used in creating art, craft and design. In its historical format, it looks at the differences and similarities in the work of artists, craftspeople and designers from different times and cultures. But whatever the game's setting and time frame, it always provides an engaging, inclusive and immersive way to teach and learn about a wide variety of things based on a study of how human settlements start and develop through time.
Yes, the settlement game has been useful and relevant to the work that we're doing here. It's linked directly in with an expedition that the students have worked on looking at city and building design, and it's been really helpful to get them to think about their built environment rather than just walking through it. So I'd say absolutely it's been relevant. There are two parts of the day that have been standout moments for me. The first part is watching students working, is watching them getting on, cracking on with a task, and doing that straight away was very, very helpful. The second thing which was good was seeing them discussing, watching them in a circle, debating the relative merits of where an urban farm should be versus a hospital versus a car park. It was interesting, it was valuable, it was useful for them to be in that situation.